Jamal, a young boy with autism, grows up in a village where his mother neglects him, and his father, his only source of love, has recently passed away. Misunderstood by those around him, Jamal is abandoned and forced to live on the unforgiving streets of Lagos State. Thrown out of the house by his mother and his stepfather, Jamal survives by scavenging and hiding from gangs that patrol the district. However, one fateful night, he is brutally attacked by a group of teenagers who often calls him crazy and left for dead in an alleyway. Dr. Zara, on her way for an early morning shift, finds Jamal bleeding and unconscious. She rushes him to the hospital, determined to save his life. Shortly after Jamal's injuries are treated, Zara arranges a light meal and a change of clothes for him. Nevertheless, the hope of getting him to speak remains unlikely as his countenance stays cheerless. Still, Jamal will occasionally peek at Zara in a way that suggests he is gaining her trust. But once she attempts to touch him as she sits beside him, Jamal quickly withdraws to a corner of his bed, tucking his head between his knees. Well, for many days, Jamal remains quiet and afraid. Dr. Zara does not know his name, and her several attempts to unravel Jamal's true identity proved abortive. Moreover, some of the doctors at the hospital think Zara is likely to get into some kind of police trouble since Jamal's injuries are gunshot-related. A police report is required in most cases before the commencement of treatment. On the one hand, Dr. Bello, the hospital's only clinical psychologist, tries to persuade Zara to give up the boy to either the police or social services. But Zara rebuffs this insensitive persuasion, citing that those agencies, mentioned by Dr. Bello, only treats people like Jamal as merely insane individuals. A few days later, when Dr. Zara enters Jamal's ward for the ward round, she finds him stroking his dreadlocks and stares awkwardly at her. Zara calmly sits in Jamal's bed. Surprisingly, he isn't withdrawing to a corner of his bed as he normally does. Still, for a moment, he stops stroking his dreadlocks and lowers his head and peeks at her. Jamal. Jamal stutters almost inaudibly. Surprised, Zara quickly moves closer to him. Did you just say Jamal? She asks, in a desperate expectation of an affirmative answer. Jamal unexpectedly nods agreeably. Dr. Zara gets so excited for this seemingly ambiguous success. Dubani Hospital is a somewhat small hospital, but modestly equipped with the state-of-the-art medical equipment. Thanks to a few local and foreign donors, especially Sir Jules Pierre, a Canadian philanthropist whose daughter was healed at the same hospital after a car accident while visiting Nigeria. Also, his son, Andre, regularly volunteers at the hospital and other clinics within Lagos. On the other hand, Dubani Hospital, although well-equipped medically speaking, is not lacking in envious medical staff who frequently tell tales. They are the ones who believes that Dr. Zara is being overzealous about a boy like Jamal who they think truly belongs in the streets. But even under this revolting atmosphere, Zara discovers that Jamal is autistic and highly intelligent. During his healing process, Zara discovers Jamal's unusual talents, solving complex equations and sneaking out to play the hospital's old piano with profound skill. Moved by his hushed resilience, she becomes his advocate, fighting for his right to a better life. Despite the challenges, they form a bond built on trust and mutual understanding, and she decides to take Jamal in. This arrangement, however, does not sit well with Zara's parents, who fear Jamal might be dangerous. For a few months preceding this living together arrangement, Zara has made a few inroads into Jamal's psyche. On a few occasions, he will teach her rare tricks on mastering the piano, and both will chat and eat together. Yet, to ensure a secure future for Jamal, Zara registers him in a modestly expensive school for medically challenged children. Jamal is happy about this and eagerly goes to school every day. But one Saturday evening, there's an unexpected turnout of event after Dr. Zara returns from work. The house was fearfully quiet. Jamal isn't playing the piano as customary. However, there's an indication that her parents had visited in her absence. She looks everywhere and attempts to call out Jamal's name, but the silence in the house is overwhelmingly crushing. However, in a heart-wrenching twist, Jamal leaves behind a heartfelt letter thanking Dr. Zara for her kindness and love, along with a final piano composition titled A Symphony for My Dear Friend, Dr. Zara. He takes his own life, leaving behind a legacy of music and a message of love. Zara, confounded but inspired, organizes a concert in his honor to raise awareness about autism and mental health, turning Jamal's story into a beacon of hope for others. Hey, if you've truly enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out in many ways and guarantees you don't miss any upcoming content.